Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Celebrity Big Brother recap. This is for night 4. I hope you guys are all enjoying the show. Let's get right the frickety frick into it. Let me find my list. Alright, we start day 4, 9:30 a.m. Nancy, I guess, gave John a silk robe, and he's like so happy about it. Wearing it all day. It was really funny. Stephanie and Jeremy are cuddling very playfully. My boyfriend said, "What's her boyfriend doing? Just chilling?" He was not happy about that. Megan and Scotty slept in bed together. Ooh la la. Jeremy is massaging David when they talk. No. Oh, Megan and Scotty slept in bed together. Jeremy is massaging David, and they're all talking about it. Winston is talking to John, Darren, and Scotty. Winston thinks he's going to hold a council with everybody for 10 minutes at 1 p.m. Christopher and Stephanie are talking about the comment from the task about gay people adopting. Christopher's never been around someone with that kind of opinion. Stephanie doesn't know how people are still like that. Winston talks to Big Brother about how he feels like he's been stripped naked and people think he's a people hater and he's disappointed in Gemma. He thinks his point was simple. He doesn't hate gay people. He just doesn't agree with their lifestyle. I get where he's going, but it's still not okay to think adoption of gay couples adopting children is child abuse. That's not okay. Darren is telling a story to Angie, John, and David about, getting drunk and doing drugs and singing the song Angie around a pool. And one of the people saying you could get high off of licking a frog, so they went and looked for frogs. Gemma asked Winston, "How does your last day in the house feel?" Tiffany's like, "Oh, that wasn't very nice to say." But then she goes, "But really, no. How is your last day feel?" Winston tells Gemma he's upset because of yesterday, about how the way that she treated him. Sit down and spin. Jonathan announced Winston's meeting be in the square, or be square. Jonathan's funny. I'm going to be really sad if he leaves. 12:40 p.m. David talks with Big Brother, says the atmosphere has been very tense since last night. I'm feeling kind of bad for jumping the gun on David Guest. I actually really like him. He's actually a nice guy. Jonathan and Gemma talk about fashion. Gemma's wearing this hideous color pink, and he's like, "You shouldn't wear pink. You're too good for that." Is she though? He doesn't think she should be wearing a pink because she's a big deal now. And then she pulls out this fucking hideous leopard print leisure suit, and he's like, "What the fuck is that? Literally, what the fuck is that?" It looks like a Mexican hit a car on the way to a fiesta. Then she pulls out some other hideous fashion items, and Jonathan just rags on her. It's so funny. Oh, excuse my yawn. 1:04 p.m. Winston is giving his speech. Tiffany has chosen not to attend. Daniela and Angie are outside, also not attending. Daniela says she wouldn't be able to hold her tongue. Winston's going on and on. I couldn't care less. Angie and Daniela finally come in. Gemma says she can't listen to bullshit. He says, "Don't judge me." And then says, like, "You can all ask me questions, but raise your hand first and you'll each get 10 minutes. Like that's going to work. So then Jeremy, Stephanie, Angie, David, and others get up and go because he's like, "No. We don't need to sit here and have raise hands to ask questions. No." So they all walk away. Gemma asks very clearly and maturely why he thinks it's child abuse. And then Darren says, "I kind of have the same question, but I want to know if you use those exact words." Winston says, "Yes, I did use the exact words. I'm not going to sell my soul just to please somebody," by admitting that he didn't say them. So he's a piece of shit. Danielle asks why he thinks it's child abuse. He thinks he's entitled to whatever he thinks because the child has no say. Danielle brings up my point about any straight couple could adopt a child and abuse them. They don't have to be gay. Tiffany didn't go because she couldn't give a shit less about what he says. Winston goes on about his Christian beliefs. Darren says, "Do you think God would evolve with the world?" Winston says, "No." And then you're giving me a nervous breakdown. It's all very dramatic. Jonathan feels edgy and claustrophobic. He doesn't really want to stay because he's worried about his mental stability. And then back in the bedroom, David is teasing Stephanie and Jeremy about cuddling on the bed. But they're laying like top to toe. It's not like they're not like in bed cuddling. She cries because she feels bad. I'm sorry. It's because I'm trying to talk really fast and lack of oxygen to the brain. My boyfriend says, yeah, make David feel bad for stating the obvious. I say, he was joking. Why is she crying? My boyfriend says she's crying because she's guilty as fuck. I knew it would happen, but not this soon. Jeremy confronts her in the toilet. Stephanie is seriously upset. My boyfriend, I can't roll my eyes hard enough at this bitch. Jonathan's telling Scotty and Chris about... Jonathan is telling Scotty, Chris, and Gemma about wanting to leave. Jonathan says he doesn't need the fame. He's famous enough. Gemma says she forgets sometimes how crazy his fame is on the outside world. Gemma gives him a hug and doesn't want him to leave. 7:09 p.m. Big Brother is playing crowd noise in the house. Stephanie and Jeremy are talking about Nancy. Daniela and Gemma chat, and Gemma says she's very different from what she thought. Daniela is very different than what Gemma thought. In a really good way, that she's glad that they got along. They basically talk about how the press... how the press has just talked shit about Daniela. 9:54 p.m. Housemates are on the sofas waiting for eviction. We go all over the eviction shit from last night. 10:46 p.m. 40 minutes since eviction. Nancy is talking to Scotty T about Jeremy putting her up. Jeremy tells David how he stands up for what he believes in. Chris comes up and backs him up. She's patronizing to him, he feels, and kind of I agree. Christina talks to Big Brother about being safe. She was really happy about it and feels good that she has support during the first eviction, but it also makes her homesick. Jeremy and Stephanie talk about Nancy in the garden. Stephanie says she is a stuck-up celebrity. They talk about how Winston was at least respectful and Nancy is just rude. But Chris says it would have ended in a blow-up with Winston, and Jeremy and Stephanie say it's going to end up with a blow-up with Nancy anyways. 12:21 p.m. Jonathan goes to talk to Big Brother. He really wants out. He's getting too claustrophobic. Gemma and Megan talk about that. Gemma knows he really wants to go. She really actually thinks he's going. They really like him and don't want him to go, though. Daniela thinks he's going to go, too. All his stuff is all packed up. After an hour talking with Big Brother, he's had a change of heart. Big Brother's happy about it. He says he's going to stay for now. I mean, I'm sure Big Brother was like, look at how much money you're paying, dude. Like, you're one of the highest paid celebrities in Big Brother house ever, and you're going to leave. Like, why? The ratings, I'm sure they brought up the ratings, and he was like, oh, okay. Just like Perez Hilton with all of his threatening to leave. He walks out of the diary room. Everyone's happy. They're jumping all over him. Gemma is so happy. 2:06 a.m. Scotty is trying to get it in with Megan. She is not having any of it. Angie, Darren, and Nancy talk about the eviction. She's still upset about Jeremy picking her. John talks to Big Brother, and he's very happy that Winston is gone. He's happy not to have a confrontation. He's upset that there are still people who believe that sort of thing. Basically, that was it. What I took from this one is I'm really happy Winston's gone. I'm really sad that Jonathan's feeling so claustrophobic and shit. It makes me really disappointed. I don't want him to leave so soon. It's been 4 days. Like, come on. Come on. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this recap. I will see you in the next one. Bye.